Hi friends, Kara Corey here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am gonna go over a couple things with you guys. I've got somewhat of a smaller Aldi's haul that I did today that I wanted to share with you guys. And you guys also wanted some more air fryer recipes, so I wanted to share one of my favorite air fryer recipes for you today. So that's gonna be after we go through the grocery haul. If you guys like these videos, then be sure to hit the thumbs up button right now. Also, do a little check-sies, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you're like, hey girl, I need to feel you out to see if I actually like you before I subscribe, I totally understand. I think you might like me though, so feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you need to unsubscribe at the end, you could do that too, although I hope you do stick around. And you can also hit that post notification bell. That's gonna let you guys know each and every time I upload. I am typically here twice a week, although last week I was only here once a week. And I wanna talk about that for a moment real quick, because if you did watch my last vlog, I did mention in there kind of briefly touching on the subject of what's going on in the US right now with the George Floyd death and just kind of the movement of Black Lives Matter. And if you follow me over on Instagram, Kara Corey Fit Life, I have been kind of posting a little bit more, using my voice to speak to Black Lives Matter and that movement and how I feel about it. I know it's been a real heavy world right now, I think, for a lot of people. I myself have been doing the best I can with trying to kind of focus my efforts on what I can be doing better, what I can be doing more of, and really just educating myself. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that. Right now I am listening to an audiobook called White Privilege. It's really good so far. It is one of those things where I almost wish I could write down notes. There's also another book I've got coming, Fearing the Black Body. I posted about that and just kind of the underlying racism in terms of thinness. So if this is a new concept to you, it was a new concept to me, and I know a lot of folks wanted me to speak on that and give my opinion as a dietitian. I have to educate myself further a bit more on that topic before I speak on my opinions and how I feel, but I definitely want to bring more conversation to that. I want to bring more conversation into my discussions in terms of nutrition and even fitness with how we approach things. And being more culturally sensitive and aware and educated, and educate you guys as well, because it is something that's been lacking and something I can certainly be speaking more about and should be speaking more about and educating myself more about. So I do intend on having more of that kind of built into my natural, normal content. But I did just want to touch on that right now because it feels not right for me to not say anything. I know some people don't want to hear about it right now, but it is the world we're living in, and I think it's important to speak up. And I know a lot of you said, though, when I asked about what content to post, because the world, at least the US, feels very weird right now with COVID and now protests, and it's just a lot. And a lot of people said, the majority of people said, please post your normal content. I need a break. I want to see your normal stuff. It really helps me out. It helps me get through my day. So I did just want to mention that, and I will continue to provide you guys my normal content. You guys gave me a lot of good suggestions over there. I did just want to mention that, you guys, before we hopped into the video. It feels like a weird time, if I'm being totally transparent, on social media. I didn't want to just act like nothing's going on, because it feels the world is about to change. I hope for the better. That is my hope. And the world, the United States, please, at least us, we need to change, and hopefully for the better. So I wanted to at least mention this here and know that I support each and every one of you. If there's something more I could be doing, I appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you that have reached out to me over social media, I appreciate that as well. And just know that I'm here for you. This channel is all for loving each and every person on this earth. So I don't really know how to segue this, but we are going to hop into my mini Aldi's haul. And you guys wanted more nutrition kind of stuff. You like the grocery hauls. You like full days of eating. So I like doing little grocery hauls for you, because maybe you don't buy exactly what I buy, but I always try to use this opportunity to review what I buy and give you guys some little educational tidbits within here as well. So Aldi's is such a great place to shop in terms of your budget. Today, with everything seen here, again, a smaller haul, but I spent $66, so relatively cheap. I will say for me personally, it's not a store I go to shop for everything, and I didn't need to do that today either. I have a lot of groceries left over still, even though you guys know it's me and Jason in the household. We both kind of like do our own thing with food. Interestingly enough, like a lot of times I am cooking for one person, so when I buy like things like pasta and oats and stuff like that, I don't have to buy it every week. I'm not eating that much of it to go through it every week. I just always like to have a variety of food. So today was more like supplemental to grab some stuff to get me through the week, and also I have a couple days off from work this week. F yeah. But so I don't need to do as much meal prep this week. So getting into some of the items I grabbed, I did grab a couple little drinky beverage things. I don't normally do that at Aldi, but I was really parched today, so I was thirsty, and if you're thirsty or hungry, you tend to kind of buy more of those things. I did grab some Gatorade Zeros. These are the Glacier cherry flavor. They are like 1 carb in a bottle. Do I need them? No, I don't. You guys don't need Gatorade Zero. Honestly, this is one of those things as a dietitian when I would see people walking around with like big things of Gatorade. Truly, unless you're an elite athlete, you're doing over 60 to 90 minutes of activity, that's when you want to kind of replenish those electrolytes. But I'm sucker to it too, and I just like sometimes a good tasting beverage, especially in the summertime. Jason and I have been going out for bike rides, so we may go out for like an hour-and-a-half bike ride. Something like this is kind of nice when I come back in to just drink and replenish. Then I just also like to have other tasty beverages around, because just to make sure I'm drinking enough. I am a really good water drinker, but I do like things that add some flavor there. You can certainly do it on your own without purchasing these things, but I do also like to have some sparkling water on hand. I've never seen this one before. Looks like it's called Aha. It's a lime and watermelon flavor, so I actually, maybe I'll open up one of these right now to see how it tastes, but and I do like diet soda too, so I try not to drink more than like 1 to 2 diet sodas a day, just being honest. And sometimes these kind of help me when I'm craving something with some flavor without drinking a soda. That's a really good combo. It's not like overly, like sometimes the LaCroix, they're like too carbonated, like it's like too much. This one's kind of nice and light, very light. Lime and watermelon, that's exactly what it tastes like. Okay, when you go into Aldi's, the first thing you run into is like all the snacky stuff. So I tend to like want to get a bunch of snacks, but I try to keep it together and be a bit more purposeful with what snacks I was grabbing. So the first thing I grabbed were these 100-calorie dill pickle cashews. Where are my Canadians at? Because I mean, I'm not from Canada, my dad is, but we've loved things that are dill pickle flavored and ketchup flavored forever. The US is way behind in that. We now actually see things like this that we can get, and I love it. I love dill pickle potato chips. Let me know in the comments below if you like dill pickle or ketchup flavored potato chips. Jason loves all dressed. Those are more of like the Canadian flavors. I don't know if everyone in the US loves them, but when I saw dill pickle cashews, love that. And it's a 100-calorie pack, which I do enjoy, because when it comes to nuts, I can really go ham on some nuts. So the 100-calorie packs are nice because it just keeps it portion controlled. It's like 0.62 ounces. I mean, that's a really small portion of nuts. I probably, when I'm portioning them out myself, I'll do an ounce typically, but this keeps it a little bit lower fat, 8 grams of fat, 5 carbs, 3 protein in those guys. So that's one little snack I grabbed. The other thing I wanted to grab was something like desserty, treaty, snacky, delicious. I like to have something sweet on hand, so I had grabbed these previously from Aldi, loved them. It was a different flavor. These are their coconut cashew crisps. They are gluten-free. I don't care that they're paleo, vegan, non-GMO. Actually, I do care that they're vegan. I am trying to limit dairy as much as possible. I've mentioned this before, right? That I'm trying to limit my dairy due to acne and seeing if it lowers my inflammation. So I am trying to be a bit more mindful of that. And I gotta be honest, it's not easy. I am a huge dairy lover. I see cheese, milk, cottage cheese, yogurt. I I just love it all. But I have noticed that correlation. So I am trying to be more purposeful with the items I buy. So with that being said, even things like your grain products, you need to check for dairy and if it has dairy in it. I'm not totally dairy free. I'm just like limiting it down and not having like fluid sources of dairy, things like that. These are just coconuts, cashews, coconut sugar, cassava flour, and sea salt. I had these in the chocolate flavor before. They were so good. I really like the texture on them. They're sweet, crispy, and they really do just kind of like satisfy a little bit of a sweet tooth. Serving size on these guys is 8 pieces for 12 fat, 13 carbs, 3 protein. A little higher in fat because of the coconut and the cashew. But I got those to go with these, which I don't think these are technically dairy free. Well, yeah, they are. It's just unsweetened cocoa powder in it. These are chocolate hummus cups, and these are in the single serve, which I like because I'm not going to portion out hummus to bring to work with me. I'm too lazy to do that. So something like a single portion is perfect. And so one single serve is 2 ounces, which is actually probably more hummus than I need in a sitting. But these dipped in this, such a good little snack, sweet tooth killer, you name it. So 1 tub of this is 21 carbs, 3 fiber, 3 protein, and 8 grams of fat. And it's truly just chickpeas, and then they add in there a little bit of cane sugar, unsweetened cocoa powder, sea salt. It's really kind of up to you how you like to enjoy your treats. I am someone that will always need something sweet in my diet. I have a sweet and salty love. I can't pick one or the other. I need both in my life, in my diet. So things like this are a really nice way to satisfy a sweet tooth, but also get in a little bit of good nutrition too. So love this for me because it just makes it super quick and easy to bring to work. This is sell by June 10th. What the heck is today's date though? Isn't today like the 8th? Well, today's June 7th, so here's another learning lesson for you. Make sure you're checking expiration dates when you buy things, especially weird things like chocolate hummus that most people probably don't go to Aldi's to buy. So I now have 3 days to eat 6 mini cups. It's a sell by date, so technically if it goes a little bit longer than them, am I gonna get sick? No. But it's probably going to start to taste not so great. Usually with a sell by date, you want to eat it within like 3 to 5 days after that date. So I have a little time. This just means I need to be cognizant to be eating these this week so I don't waste them. In terms of breakfast, I go on and off with what breakfast I like to eat. I get bored easily, and something I love are bagels. And I feel like bagels are still very stigmatized, that they're a bad food. And if you're new here, I am a dietitian that thinks all foods are good for you. All foods can fit in your diet, and we have to quit kind of demonizing certain types of foods in effort to improve your relationship with food. So one thing for me is bagels. I have been a bagel lover since I was a kid. I mean, I would eat 2 to 3 of these guys when I was marathon running because it was just my favorite thing. But I've recently been incorporating bagels back in, and Aldi seriously has some of the best bagels I have ever ate. They have really great flavors, the texture is good, and these ones are their specialty ones. They're the maple French toast. And again, I like my sweet and salty, so my plan with these guys was to make a breakfast sandwich to do the bagel, and then I grabbed some of their organic cage-free eggs. What I'll probably do for the breakfast sandwich is do like 2 eggs, one with the yolk, one without, and just scramble it up, throw it on top of my breakfast Sammy. And then I did also grab some of these chicken sausages. So I feel like that'll just be like the most epic, delicious breakfast sandwich ever. And how can that not start your day off to a good start? Like, that's what I'm gonna be eating Monday morning to start my week off right. These little sausages are great. This is their own brand. It's called Never Any. Chickens raised without antibiotics, hormones, you name it. I know they have to, like, that's kind of how they do all chicken nowadays, but marketing wise, they can throw it on there to lure you in. Whatever. I like chicken sausages. I like the size of these. They're like the smaller breakfast links, and these ones are just chicken. There's a little bit of water, salt, sugar, and spices in there. Anytime you get items like this that are prepackaged, just like the deli meat I got, it's gonna have more sodium in it to preserve it, but I'm not someone that really watches my sodium super hardcore. I tend to not eat a lot of high sodium stuff, but if I do eat it, I kind of balance it out. If you are someone that has to worry about blood pressure, which I don't know if any of you guys do or not, but yeah, you want to be careful with some of your kind of packaged convenience foods that can have a bit more sodium. These are 210 milligrams per link, and I'll probably just use one link on my breakfast sandwich and like slice it in half. These are another one that have duped me before, because after opening package, serve within 3 days. So a lot of times, like your sausages or bacon, things like that, you can't just leave that sitting in your fridge for a week or two. So if you're not going to eat it within a 3-day period, which there's 7 sausages in here, no, you need to just pop them in the freezer. I'd probably be better off if once I open these, I just throw them in the freezer, because what I'll do is air fry these anyways. So when they come out of the air fryer, it doesn't matter if they were frozen or fresh, they taste just as good. So that might be your best bet to not waste items like this. Just package it up, pop it in the freezer. I always like to look at their baking stuff because it's a ton cheaper there. So I grabbed an avocado oil spray. This is great for any high heat cooking. I do like to use this sometimes in the air fryer if I am spraying things like potatoes when I cook potatoes, which I did grab some of these little organic Honey Gold bite-sized potatoes. I love the little teeny tiny potatoes, so good. Potatoes are always part of my diet. Maybe one of those things that still have a bad stigma, that they're potatoes, they're not good for you. They're a vegetable, but they're starchy. Potatoes can be incorporated into your diet in so many different ways. They are a good source of carbohydrates. There's nothing wrong with eating carbohydrates. And I love the variety I can get with potatoes. Right now I'm finishing up some Japanese sweet potatoes. Those are some of my favorites. But then I'll move on to these little tiny Honey Gold ones. Great to just slice up, dice up, throw in the air fryer, and have them with eggs, have them with chicken, have them with any of your meals. Throw them into like a frittata, a wrap. I love potatoes. They should be in your diet. But they're just so easy. The small ones like that are quick and easy. I'll still clean them off, but they don't require as much cleaning. Spray them with that, season them up, and they're good to go. I did grab just this almond milk creamer. I'm not sure if this is any good. I'll let you guys know, or let me know if you've tried it. It's just a caramel almond milk creamer. I do a lot of decaf Nespresso at nighttime. It's just kind of like having a warm beverage at night. Just kind of like calms me down, relaxes me. And if you're someone that has a lot of nighttime eating issues where you feel like you kind of can't shut the door to it, like it's just never ending, sometimes having like a nice warm beverage at the end of the night, just kind of like, it's like, okay, I'm done for the night. Just kind of like if you go and brush your teeth, you're usually done eating for the day. For me, that's having a nice warm beverage. So a little splash of this to help like sweeten it up. I've never tried these. This is their brand as well, Fit and Active. They're flatbreads, multigrain with flax. They seem like a decent sized flatbread. It's 53 grams, one flatbread, 17 carbs, 9 protein. And what I was thinking of doing with these is just making some little pizzas. So I also did grab some turkey pepperoni. I have some pizza sauce and some almond cheese in the fridge. So I'm gonna use these to make some just like little homemade pizzas, but then I figure I can also make wraps with them as well throughout the week. I did grab some of this Never Any Black Forest ham. I thought for this, if I'm in a pinch and need a quick sandwich, sometimes for breakfast, I'll eat a sandwich. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to eat oatmeal and eggs for breakfast. Sometimes having a sandwich really just, I mean, I got stuff for a breakfast sandwich. You guys, if you're not new here, you know I like sandwiches. So any excuse to eat a sandwich, I'm about it. But so I grabbed this too just to have on hand in a pinch to throw together a wrap. I could kind of rip it up, throw it into a spinach salad, add it to my bagel in the morning. It's just kind of nice to have some proteins that are ready to go on hand if you are on the go a lot like myself. So these wraps will act as both. I can do pizzas, I can do wraps, I can do whatever I want. Or you can also cut these up, spray them with a little avocado spray, and throw them in the air fryer for some chips. You could make them into your own little chips and do chips and salsa. Also grab some ground pork. This is actually for Bruce and not for me, but they do have organic meats there. It's just real hit and miss, I feel like, depending on when I go, what time I get there. So I don't tend to get all my protein there. Grab some plastic wrap. They have junk like that there too, which is good. And then for veggies, I just grabbed up, I usually have some type of lettuce on hand. I grabbed some organic baby spinach, a pack of just one of those trios of red bell peppers. I love having red bell peppers on hand for salads, to throw into eggs, wraps. And then I also grabbed a thing of organic celery. So I'm probably just gonna cut these up and make up a little salad so that I have that ready to go in my fridge. No excuses to eat some vegetables. That is everything. That's my whole haul. That's my whole Aldi's haul. Why can't I say that? That's my whole Aldi's haul. So I hope you guys enjoyed the haul, and I want to share with you real quickly one of my other favorite air fryer recipes. I know I mentioned a few things you guys can do in the air fryer, but I also wanted to leave you with a quick little recipe. So the recipe I wanted to share with you guys are my air fried chicken tenders. This is a healthier option than just buying chicken tenders at the grocery store. You have total control over what goes into this recipe, and it's really quick and really easy, so it's probably going to save you some money versus buying some of those, you know, popular brands of chicken tenders. All you're gonna need is some chicken breast. I have one chicken breast right here that I'm gonna cut up. And then for the coating of the chicken breast, what I like to do is use some quick oats. And I have these are actually from Aldi. It's their gluten-free quick oats. And then to mix in there, I am gonna use a little basil and oregano. This is a Parmesan cheese mix. And then for spices, you can use anything you like. I think more like Italian style spices taste really good. This is from Spice Beast. It's their master blend spice, and it has a combination of garlic pepper, parsley, red bell pepper, and sea salt in it. So this one is my favorite for that Italian flavor for chicken. A couple options, you can take these three and just mix them in a bowl, or if you want, you can throw them in the blender and kind of blend it up so that you have more of a finely ground coating for your chicken. I like to do it half and half. I already have some made up right here. So some of it I blended really finely, and then I left a little bit of it kind of oaty to give it a little bit more of that oaty texture that I like. So you're gonna wanna take that mixture and either put it on a plate or in a bowl. And then I like to take my chicken breast and just kind of slice it up into nuggets or tenders. You can leave it whole if you want. This chicken breast was already cleaned up. I try to make them the same size because when you're air frying it, if things aren't the same size, they may cook a little bit differently. So just to have the flavor of it taste uniform, equal. Just in terms of cooking time, it's gonna make your life a lot easier if everything's the same size. So I've got my tenders made up. What I like to do, you don't have to use oil. You could just spray them with some spray. I like to use a half a tablespoon of avocado oil, and I'm just gonna kind of smear that all over my chicken tenders. It's half a tablespoon. I just drizzle it on. We're gonna drizzle it on the other side too. So a half tablespoon for all that chicken. And then real easy, we're just gonna go ahead and start dunking it in there. And in terms of the amount of oats, usually a half a cup or a cup is enough. That's what your little chicken tendy should look like. So we're just gonna go ahead and coat all of these. It really does not take a lot of oil, so you can really significantly decrease the fat with chicken tenders by doing it this way, because I don't know, the breading sticks to it really nicely with just that little bit. There's all the chicken tenders. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the air fryer, and I wanna say I cooked them last time for probably 12 minutes or so. I like to go in halfway and flip them over, even though you don't necessarily have to with an air fryer, but I just think it makes them turn out that much nicer. All right, guys, the tenders are all done. I did cook them a little bit longer because I personally like them a little bit more crispy where they start to get brown around the outside. So I ended up doing about 15 minutes, and I did flip them over halfway through. And this just ends up being the perfect meal, guilt-free. You get a little bit of carbs, protein, and fats. And then to top it off, whatever kind of dipping sauce you love. I personally love this G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's honey flavored. You can find that at Walmart, but that's really good. They also make a honey mustard version too that would be really good with the tenders. But just a real quick and easy meal for you guys to enjoy. You guys wanted more air fryer recipes, so you guys definitely need to check this one out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you are all doing well. Make sure you hit that like button before you head on out of here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.